Welcome to part 8 of my series of videos on Data Services Manager version 2.2. In this video, we're going to have a look at some updates we've made to the Aria Automation integration, allowing it to work with DSM. The first thing is that we've changed subtly the installation mechanism. We now use a YAML configuration file rather than a JSON file, and that just makes it a lot easier, especially to include certificates into the configuration to secure communication between DSM and Aria Automation. The installation is the same as before. We just run a Python script, and because it's got all of the DSM information and the Aria Automation information, it is able to set up all of the different objects that are needed in the assembler, in the orchestrator, and of course the service broker. So now we can navigate to the service broker in Aria Automation, and what we should see is there's a catalog item that allows us to deploy out databases. And this is the default catalog item that we create, the DSM DBaaS as a service, or DBaaS. So the project name automatically fills in. We just need to give a deployment name, select the database engine, select the database version, and this is where the replication part comes in. This is a new feature as well that we have in the latest release of the plugin or the custom resource. So this is not a secondary. This is going to be our primary database. So we leave the as a secondary checkbox unchecked, and we continue on with the default settings or configuration options as before. So you're going to pick a small VM class, going to pick a very small storage space of 20 gig, skip over the directory services, the backup. I will leave a maintenance window. And then last here is the enable replication slot. So this is basically what is setting up replication between this database and a secondary database that we will create shortly. So we'll speed things along here. Usually takes a couple of minutes, but rather than you watching the screen, we'll speed things along. And now we can see our primary, and there are some additional day 2 actions, such as getting the replica slot connection string, which we will need for our secondary database. So we can now proceed with creating another database. This one will be our secondary, so it will be the replicated to database for our primary that we just built. Fill in all the details as before. Now is a secondary. The checkbox is selected. And we need 2 pieces of information, which is the replication connection string I had previously, and also the replication slot. So we just copied that from the day 2 actions on the primary, but the slot name is always slot 1 if it's been set up through Aria Automation. Now we get back to populating same as before, storage policy, infrastructure policy, VM class, storage space, deciding if you want to have directory services like LDAP, configured, maintenance window, advanced options, and so on. So we'll submit that secondary now. And again, rather than hanging around, we will speed things along. And after a few moments, you will have your secondary database created as well. Have a look in here. And if we look at the day 2 actions of the secondary, you can see one of these actions is to promote the secondary. So let's assume we've just had a problem with the primary, and we need to bring the database online from its replica. We can just do it through Aria Automation, promote the secondary. Again, I'm speeding things along just to get the secondary updated. And if we have a look at our DSM, we see our Postgres databases. Looks like I have some sort of problem on the primary, which is the reason why I promoted the secondary. And if I have a look at the secondary, looks like it's online and it now is of type primary. So that's just to show you that you can do all of the operations around replication and promotion of secondaries through Aria Automation. So it just remains for me to say thank you for watching this video. And if you're interested in more things to do with Data Services Manager, why not pop along to my website, cormachogan.com. Lots of good information, videos, blog posts, all that kind of stuff related to DSM. So thank you for watching.